श्रीगुरुं तन्नतोऽस्मि गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो आनन्दलीलाविग्रहाय प्रेममतिगच्छामि सुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेमरसप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते श्यामसुन्दर शिखण्डशेखर स्मरः स्मुरलीमनोहरा राधिकरस्तुमङ्गपितरे प्रियचरणतीं कुरु तवैव स्मि नाजिमाविद्यया दिव्याय देवी तं परमाचरान्तिकम्. First of all, after my standing Dandavat Puspanjali, my heart like flowers thousands and thousands of times. Adolokta Sweeter, Asmadhir Paramaradhatam Guru Pada Padma, Nitya Lila, Vishnu Om, Vishnu Pada, Vishnu Darsita Shishimar, Guru Pada Vachari Varya, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Muslim Maharaj. Secondly, after my pranam, thousands of times Adolokta Sweeter Parama Guru Pada, Nitya Lila, Vishnu Om, Vishnu Pada, Vishnu Darsita Shishimar, Bhaktan Bhava Muslim Maharaj. After my pranam to my Sri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Parambara and all the sum of Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas. Janma Karma Chabandanam Vaishnavanam Padidhyate. He said that just as Sri Krishna appears in this world, performs his activities and disappears. Janma Karma Chamedi Vyamma Yamyogeti Tantata. So similarly, the pure Vaishnavas, they are not appearing or disappearing under the karma hadeen, under the grips of their karmas, but they are manifested in this world only by the Kripa Shakti, the power of Supreme Lord's mercy upon the jivas of this world. Guru Krishna Rupaya Shastra Pramane, Guru Rupa Krishna Kripa Karan Bhakta Kane. Sri Guru is that very form in which Sri Krishna, he performs the miracle of the redemption of the conditioned souls in this world. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he asked Sri Varahananda Rai, Prabhu kahe, kaune dukh hoy Guruta? Krishna Bhakta Varaha Vina Dukha Nahi Takipa. Sri Mahaprabhu said, tell me, out of all the types of suffering, which suffering is the heaviest? Guratara. Most of it. And Roy Ramananda, he replied, actually, I don't know any suffering at all. Only one suffering. What is that? Krishna Bhakta Viraha Dukha. The pain of separation from the pure Vaishnava. So, my Gurudev used to say, of Avirbhav and Tirabhav, they are non-different, except for one thing. Tirabhav, there is a Vaishistya, a speciality in separation. And that is, when a Vaishnava appears in this world, anyone does not know their glories. Vaishnava Chaniti Nahi Devana Shakati. Kevani Chiniva Mui Anamalpamati. Even when Krishna appears in this world, all the demigods, they come in, the presence of Kamsa Maharaj and they offer prayers. But when a Vaishnava appears in this world, even devatas, they don't know. Who is this? Where is it? But when the Vaishnava disappears from this world, then everyone becomes struck with wonder, because they can realize the Avadan Vaishistya, the speciality of their contribution, what they have done. And at that time, they are put in the ocean of separation, Krishna Bhakta Viraha Dukha, the pain of separation. But this separation is not different from Ananda. It's another kind of Ananda. And the Ananda which is experienced by the Vaishnava in the Viraha from his Gurudev and pure Vaishnavas, this Ananda is greater than the Ananda that they experience in their Sakshat Darshan. This is the Siddhanta. So, how very deep was the love between, we have been hearing about Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaman Goswami Maharaj, Srila Trivikram Maharaj. I have seen with my eyes in the beginning of Kartik when Srila Trivikram Maharaj from Bengal, he used to come to Braj Mandap. And Gurudev, sometimes he would be sitting on the Vyasasana and Maharaj would arrive, and just seeing each other, both would begin to weep. Both would begin to weep. Why? Because each is seeing the other. That Srila Trivikram Maharaj used to say, Srila Narayan Maharaj took his life in his hand and completely, he gave everything to Srila Bhakti Pragyan Kesha Maharaj. And he would weep, say, I could not do it, what he has done. And same way Gurudev used to look at Srila Trivikram Maharaj. Each one, deeply honoring, deeply respecting, and realizing the other's dedication, commitment and love for their own Gurudev. My Gurudev, he said, if I will see a dog and I will discover this dog did some service for my Gurudev, then I do pranam to him and do his parikrama as well. This is actually the sign of love for Sri Guru. Just like Srila Rupa Goswami said, Ananya Mamata, Vishnu Mamata, Prema Sangata. Love for Krishna means not only love for Krishna. If you have actual love for Krishna, then you have love for all in connection with Him. So in the same way, if really there's devotion to Sri Guru, anyone who has served Sri Guru, you will have the honor and love for them also. So we see that how deep was their connection that on the day that Srila Bhaktivedanta Bhaman Maharaj disappeared from this world, same day Srila Trivikram Maharaj disappeared. And on the day that Srila Bhaman Maharaj appeared, same day Srila Gurudev disappeared. Such affection between them. So only few minutes are there. Very difficult to express the extent of the Vaishishta, the Avadan Vaishishta of my Guru Pada Padma. His presentation of Siddhanta was unparalleled. How he would train all the devotees very meticulously in Guru Tattva, Vaishnava Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Sadhan Bhakti Tattva, Bhav Bhakti Tattva, Prema Bhakti Tattva, Vaidhi Bhakti Tattva, Raganuga Bhakti Tattva, Raganuga, Rupanuga. All these things very, very, very meticulously. Also, we see that each one of the tattvas is so unlimited. If you go into Sampradayic Vichar, the deliberation of all the Sampradayas, the Vishishta Dvaita, Chinda Dvaita, Dvaita Dvaita and so on, even your whole life you can spend doing this. It is so deep. Vedanta and the Vaishishta among the various interpretations of Vedanta. If you also compare the Vedanta with the other darshanas of India, the Vaisheshik, Nyaya, Yoga and so on, all these fields are so unlimited. So you can see that there are so many pandits and they are learning in these things. But Srila Gurudev, he would just take the essence of this, the essence of that, and present it, and not go any further. Why? Because he was interested in one thing. He wanted to give enough understanding that the devotees can enter into bhajan. This is the point. Because you can become lost in so many details, but life is very short. The human form of life is very short. So Srila Gurudev, whatever he would tell, if he would tell the glories of Prahlad Maharaj, or Dhruva Maharaj, or Ambarish Maharaj, whatever it was, in the end, he would tell Shri Rupamanjri Karachata Pada Padma Gosnendana Bhujapata Mastakaya. Adadalastinam Dattari Gamya Chaituna Puna Srimad Rupa Jo Visham Janna Jamni. In the end, he would come to the point, and he would tell, by understanding the greatness of the various levels of devotees, by comparison, the Toyatmak Bhav, one can develop the adhar, the deep honor for the position of residents of Braja, and among them especially Braja Gopis, and among them especially lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. Therefore, the aim and object of all, the highest objective, is to enter into the service of the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika, following in the footsteps of Sri Rupa. Srila Gurudev will never allow anyone to wander away from this conclusion and become lost in other things. Always he would bring back to the point. Srila Gurudev, his practical dealings were so astonishing. One will be struck with wonder. All his activities were alokik, divine, transcendental, and beyond this world. Any ordinary people cannot behave like this. Srila Gurudev used to say, the speciality of the Sadhguru is that the Sadhguru can interact with many, many persons, and each person thinks, he loves me the most. This is the speciality of the pure Vaishnava. And are you seeing this in Srila Gurudev? How do they deal with everyone? Many times I had opportunity because I was translating his books, so I could always go in his room and discuss all Siddhantas with him. One time, he was telling me, once, in Bengal, in Devanath, there was one woman, and this woman, she was ostracized, she was kicked out from society, but she started coming to the mat, and after some time she wanted to take initiation. So, anyone who didn't want to talk to her, anyone did not want to give initiation or anything, because they thought, if she will take initiation here, then as she's been ostracized from the society, then all will go against the mat also. Everyone will go against it. So that time, my Gurudev, he said, oh, if anyone will not give a Harinam, I will give. It was many years before. He was not having disciples there. He said, if anyone will not give Harinam, I will give. And they said, but she's not good character. She may chant for some time and then she'll leave everything. Like this. Gurudev said, I don't care. If anyone, they will chant Harinam, even if she'll chant very carefully or seriously for a few weeks. This benefit is eternal benefit. Forever. It will never be lost. Even if she go back in Maya, again after some time. So for this jiva, that will be.
Many brahmachari also. Many brahmachari also doing some wrongness. But Maharaj always said, no problem.
Yes.
If you put out, then he would.
Very, very merciful. Yeah. I remember one devotee, he made one book. And this book had so many mistakes in it. And he gave to Gurudev, the Gurudev received, and he was very happy, and others were complaining. And then Gurudev said, oh, be quiet. He said, look, if you never ride a horse, then you cannot fall off. So you have not ridden this horse. He has done, he made mistakes. Anyway, no problem. Go on. He was very, very merciful. I remember one time, Srila Gurudev, he was in Australia. So what happened? One devotee, he was preparing his house and garden to receive Gurudev the day before. And he had one machine for cutting the grass. And there he was cutting like this. And there was a snake in the deep grass, and the machine cut the snake. By accident, he didn't know, and killed the snake. So then the next day, Gurudev flew from India and arrived there and was brought. So he arrived. He said, I want to walk. So then Gurudev was keeping his hand on the shoulder of that devotee. And they're walking. So this devotee, he had Harinam from Swami Maharaj. He had Diksha from Srila Bhakti-Rakshak Maharaj. And then for many years, no Vaishnava Sangha, he had not any trust in anyone, no Shraddha in anyone. And who is there? I don't know. Just someone arranged him to come. So then Gurudev was keeping his hand on his shoulder and walking with him in the garden. And it was their first meeting. So they're walking. And when they got to the exact point where the machine killed the snake the day before, Gurudev stopped. He said, do you have snakes in Australia? Then he was a bit shocked. He said, yes. And Gurudev looked in his eyes and said, don't kill them. And he was completely astonished. Then after that, his wife, his children, all they took initiation from Gurudev. So, any ordinary person, they cannot have such a prabhav, an influence on the living entities to attract them and by force make them taste the nectar of their lotus feet. You know? Vairagi yung bhakti rasampratna apayana mammanubitsmandam vipangudi yo paradukaduki sanatanandam prabhumasrayami. So, now there are many devotees to speak. So in this way, I want to offer my Sada Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev. Vaishnava has actually never dies. The reason appearance and disappearance are the same is because Vaishnavas never die. Only they become prakat and aprakat. But whether the Vaishnava is prakat or whether the Vaishnava is aprakat, the Vaishnava is always upasthit, always present, there with the disciple who is praying, who is following the instructions of his Guru, always giving protection, giving blessing and giving inspiration. So with these words, I offer my Sada Pushpanjali, the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev. Srila Gurudev ki
thousands of times at the lotus feet of Paramaradhitam Shri Guru Pahara Parma Nityalila Vishtam Vishnupar Astotra Sadashi Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Secondly, I offer my Sastanga Dandavat pranams thousands of times at the lotus feet of Nityalila Vishtam Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, whose divine Avibhav Tithi we are celebrating today. And for my Sastanga Dandavat pranam thousands of times under the lotus feet of my Sri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga. And for my Sastanga Dandavat pranams to all the respected Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, offer my humble respects to all guests present here. By causeless mercy of Vaishnavas, I have been requested to say a few words on this most auspicious Tithi or day, this disappearance day of our Srila Gurudev. It's also the Abhibhav or the appearance day, Vyas Puja of Gurudev's dear godbrother Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj. So it makes this day twice as special. So how is it possible for any conditioned soul like myself to be able to glorify my Srila Gurudev? It is impossible task, but praying to all the Vaishnavas that maybe some remembrance will come in my heart and I'll be able to offer some Shraddha Pushpanjali. When I look into the life of Srila Gurudev, then few things come to mind. Is that not only did Srila Gurudev, he fully dedicated himself to the service of his own Gurudev, Nityalila Krishna Srishnam Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Gurudev, he used to say that Guru Nishtha is the backbone of bhakti. And Gurudev himself, he exemplified that. He used to always glorify, wherever he went, he used to always glorify his own Gurudev. And he always used to preach, emphasize Guru Tattva in all different places where he used to go preach. And example, he used to say that one should take one's life in one's hand and serve one's Gurudev. Like Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, when he was performing Navadipam Parikram along with Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, that time so many antagonistic Smarta Brahmins and other Babajis and other people who were against Prabhupada, they attacked the Parikram party. That time Param Gurudev, he took this opportunity and he protected and saved the life of his own Gurudev. While everyone else was running away, that time he was fearless and he went and he took Srila Prabhupada into a room and exchanged his dress with him and sent him to Mayapur safely. while everyone else was thinking, oh, I should save my own life and run away, he was not thinking. He was thinking, oh, what has happened to Prabhupada? Where is Prabhupada? And immediately he went and found him and protected him and saved him. Just like also when Ramanujacharya, he was preaching in South India, that time so many Shaivites, they were very antagonistic and against the preaching of Ramanujacharya. So there was one king there, he devised a plan to kill Sri Ramanujacharya, and he invited him for a debate. That time Ramanujacharya understood the intention of that king, and he had one disciple called Kuresh. And Kuresh also, he knew what was going on, and he said that actually, no, Gurudev, you stay here, I will go. And he took the vesh of his own Gurudev and he went there, along with one other disciple, one god brother. And there in that assembly, he defended the integrity of his own Gurudev. And he actually defeated all the arguments of the different Smarta Brahmins and the Shaivites. But then they made like a big drama, and they made it as if Kuresh had lost the debate. They said, now as a punishment, we're going to remove your eyes. And they removed his eyes and they kicked him out. Then for a long time, he was wandering here and there. By chance he came to, by desire of the Lord, he came back to the hometown, the village of Sri Ramanujacharya. And then there he again met with his Gurudev, and by Ramanujacharya's blessings, then he restored his eyesight. So, these are some examples in Shastra how disciples should serve and have intimacy with one's own Gurudev. Gurudev used to say that on these days like Tirubhav, Tithi, if we are so busy just arranging for the decorations and preparation, cooking, so many other things, but we don't have any time to remember our Gurudev, then how will tears come in the eye, how will any feeling come for your Gurudev? So one should try to take some time on this day to chant and remember the specialities and the glories and the teachings, etc. of Srila Gurudev. But not only the teachings, Gurudev says that if one thinks that my Gurudev is very high and I am very insignificant, then there is no intimacy can come in that kind of mood of awe and reverence. But if one remembers how my Gurudev gave me so much love and affection, and how I served him with intimacy, in that time one will wait for one's Gurudev. So in this mood one should try to remember and follow Tirubhav Tithi. So on this, Srila Gurudev, he was from a very young age. Not so much time, so I can't speak so much, but he was born in a Vaishnava family, the Ramanujacharya Vaishnava family. And from a young age, Gurudev, he would hear all Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita from his father, and all from different sadhus who used to come to visit his village. And from a very young age, Gurudev showed so much interest in devotional life and devotional service. And then gradually, due to desire of the Lord, Gurudev, he ended up taking a job and starting a family. But then, by the causeless mercy of his own Gurudev, Sri Navadvipad Narayananda Brahmachari and others were preaching in his village. And just by hearing Harikatha from their lotus lips, a great developed in his heart that I also perform bhakti. Some interest came in his heart, and some disinterest came towards family matters and samsara. Some interest awoke in his heart. Because if one hears Harikatha from the lips of a pure Vaishnava, if one comes in contact with pure Vaishnava, then by the effect of the Harikatha, detachment must come in the heart. Bhagavat says this, that Bhakti Yoga Bhagavati Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayati Ashuvairagam Jnanam Chayata Hoitukam. That if bhakti is there, then automatically knowledge and renunciation will follow. So, hearing the powerful Harikatha of Narayananda Brahmachari, then detachment came in his heart. And even though Gurudev, he was married, he had even 2 children. Not even looking back, he left everything and he came to the shelter of his own Guru Padma. And when he left, he had been in some better contact with Param Gurudev, but he had not mentioned anything when I am coming. Somehow, because eternal connection is there between Gurudev and Param Gurudev knew that if there, Gurudev is coming. So he told Bhaktivedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj that go to the station, Tiwariji is coming there. And Vamana Goswami Maharaj was waiting there at the station. It was very late, and he was holding a lantern and he was saying, "Oh, Tiwariji." Then he became surprised. Someone is calling me, how did you know that I was coming? He said, "Oh, my Gurudev is sent me." He was astonished, because I had not mentioned anyone that I am coming. Then Vamana Goswami Maharaj brought Gurudev to Sri Devananda Gaudiya. And then he completely surrendered himself and began performing Madhvas, residence there in the Mad ashram. So there was very intimate relation between Vamana Goswami Maharaj and Gurudev to become Goswami Maharaj. Now, respected Achyut Lal Bhatt has come and graced our Sabha, President, our Titi. So just one last thing, finishing here. One time when Gurudev had gone on his first preaching tour in the West, and he was returning to Sri Navadvip Dham, that time Vamana Goswami Maharaj, he gave an order that one should decorate the temple and one should decorate the bhajan kutir to the Gurudev's bhajan kutir. But he was seeing that none of the brahmacharis, no one was taking interest in doing this thing, and they were busy decorating Thakurji. He said, "No, first you decorate his bhajan kutir, then you decorate Thakurji's nirvanas." They were not listening, so that with his own hand he started going and he started decorating Gurudev's bhajan kutir with his own hand. Then all the brahmacharis, they saw, "Oh, Vamana Goswami himself, Gurudev is himself decorating," then they immediately all jumped and they went. Because Gurudev and Vamana Goswami Maharaj, to become Goswami, they are eternal associates, they have eternal connection, they are like 3 pillars of Sri Gauriya Samiti. So we are fortunate this day we are in Sri Vrindavan Dham, that place where Gurudev himself resided for more than 40 years, from his bhajan, and we are able to celebrate his Tirubhakti here. I end my Pushpanjali here. Vanchaha Patrivashta Sparsami Devacharpanitana Bhavanidyo Vaishnavyo Namo.
अच्युत लाल भट्ट जी, आपके उपस्थिति में हम सब ने आपको नियुक्त करके मान लिया था और कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाया, क्योंकि ठंड बहुत थे और गोलीबारी बहुत थे, इसलिए विषय था आविर्भाव तिरुभाव, दोनों ही संयुक्त रूप से संगम में ही विराजमान है। चूँकि प्रभुदान वामन गोस्वामी महाराज जी का आविर्भाव तिथि का पालन और प्रभुदान नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज जी का तिरुभाव तिथि का पालन, ऐसा संयुक्त मिलन शायद मैंने कभी भी नहीं देखा कि इकट्ठे तिरुभाव आविर्भाव मनाए जाए, तो ये विशिष्टता है। कुछ बात प्रेम प्रभु जी बता रहे थे, तिरुभाव आविर्भाव में कोई भी अंतर नहीं देखी जाती, प्रकट लीला है और प्रकट लीला ही अप्रकट लीला में और विशेष रूप से गुणधर बन जाते हैं। प्रभु जी बताए अपने विजन धर्म समय सापेक्ष को देखते हुए, ये भी हमारे पीछे श्यामानंद प्रभु जी हैं जो गुरु जी का श्रम को लाभ किया है। तो आपसे भी अनुरोध करूंगा, समय को देखते हुए, जो कथा तो बहुत लंबी सबके हृदय में विराजमान है, एक समय को देखते हुए 10-10 मिनट का समय लिया जाए, जो बचना है शायद बाद में बैठे हैं।